Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick video on Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams got a winner on her side. Now, ASAP Rocky's lawyer is Wendy Williams' personal lawyer. He said, although he cannot at this moment help her fight the guardianship, he said because guardianship lawyers have to be kind of approved by the judge. This whole guardianship thing is nasty, but in the meantime, we do got a small win because he is going to be Wendy Williams' personal lawyer and he's fighting to help her with the guardianship. Let me go ahead and share screen so we can get right into the story. So Wendy Williams adds Joe Tacopina to legal team, serving as her personal attorney. Let's take a listen.
So Wendy's retained you as her personal attorney. What's the next step? How do you get on the guardianship case, which is really the end goal here?
The end goal is to get her out of that draconian institution she's in that she doesn't belong in because she's not incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. She's in a ward where people don't know their names, where people don't know between a red light and a green light. I mean, she's in a place where, people are dangerous to themselves. She's not. She can't leave there on her own to go get a cup of coffee. So the goal end game is to make sure she gets out of there. How it's done is honestly, it doesn't matter to me now. I spoke to Wendy at length yesterday. She wants me to represent her. I am representing her. Her family's asked me to represent her. I'm her personal attorney now. Doesn't mean I'm in the guardianship case yet, and I'm not, because the judge has to approve any lawyer coming in to the guardianship. So the bottom line is there's a process that's in play there. We are moving. We're making motions to make sure we're doing everything to get ourselves into the guardianship proceedings. And then we have other remedies if that doesn't work. If the judge, for some reason, doesn't allow us into the guardianship matter as Wendy's counsel of choice, which is almost sounds ridiculous, but they could try and argue that she's doesn't have the wherewithal, the abilities to pick her own counsel, which is obviously silly. But if they did, we'd take an interlocutory appeal, or we could go as far as doing something called an Article 78, which is actually suing the judge in a Supreme Court in New York State. So we have things to do, and we'll be doing them. There are certain rules once I'm in as a guardian in the guardianship case. There's gag orders in place and whatnot, so it'll change my ability to do things that we're doing right now. But I don't care about that. I care about just getting her out of there, and whether it's me or this other law firm or us as a team, she needs to be out of there. Every day she spends there is a travesty of justice, and any additional day she spends in there is horrific. I speak to her almost daily, and it's just, I mean, you look at those videos, it's horrible. She's fine.
How do you go about getting her out of that facility when the guardianship, I mean, you'd have to go against the guardianship at this point or are you just trying to convince, is this a negotiation with the guardian to say, look, she clearly doesn't belong in there, and then you deal with the guardianship itself later?
No, it's all sort of under one umbrella, where the judge basically has to be convinced that she is not in need of a guardian. And the guardian sort of has to acquiesce. And it should be also supported by medical examinations, which Wendy has done very well on. Look, she does not have frontal lobal dementia. She just doesn't. That's something that deteriorates over time, does not improve over time. And from 2024, when she was diagnosed with that, she was under a severe battle of alcoholism. And she was an alcoholic and is an alcoholic. She's sober now, but look on that TMZ piece that you guys produced with Harvey doing her interview, it was amazing. She was cognitive, she was articulate, she was Wendy. It's sad that this is happening, and there's I quite frankly question the motivations of people in this thing, but the bottom line is she needs to get out of there, and sooner rather than later. We have an ability, if the judges are going to let this happen, there is a mechanism where she's entitled to a jury trial. I hope it doesn't get that far. I hope a judge is going to evaluate her, look at the medical evaluations, listen to her, and say, okay, she's fine. She could go. I mean, this judge actually went as far at one point to say that, one of the reasons she thought she was incapacitated is because she repeatedly used the word, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That phrase.
That's
crazy.
That's her.
That's her. And Harvey did a great thing. You guys did a great thing on that with your documentary, where you showed that Wendy has been saying that for 15 years on her show. That's one of her catchphrases. That and how you doing, right? So that's Wendy's speech mannerisms. That's not a indicia of mental defect, but that was actually used against her. So I mean, this is a scary thing. And a guardianship, when you're held in a facility, is a course of last resort. It's not meant to put a 62-year-old woman in there really against her will, who's able to communicate with her family, with her friends, have a conversation, have dinner. It's not meant for that. It's really a course of last resort where someone is a danger to themselves.
And I don't think she's a danger to herself in that sense. I think, her being on the outside with her family and with a caregiver, I think Wendy is going to be okay. So Wendy Williams has a new legal mind on her side, because famed attorney Joe Tacopina says he's serving as her personal attorney. Joe, who has represented big stars like President Donald Trump, former Yankee Alex Rodriguez, and most recently A$AP Rocky, appeared on TMZ Live Thursday to talk about it. We watched the video. He confirms he's representing Wendy, though as of right now, is strictly as her personal attorney. Joe says he will be at her guardianship case, but guardianship attorneys have to be approved by a judge. So he's still going through that process. Ain't this something? This whole guardianship thing is it's a racket. Joe said he's making motions as her counsel of choice and tells us about a range of potential approaches he has in mind. We watched the full clip. He points out a key phrase Wendy's known for was essentially used. Hold on one second, my screen jumped. Was essentially used against her in her frontal temporal dementia diagnosis, something the TMZ documentary Saving Wendy goes into detail about. Joe comments comes just a couple days after fans started lining up outside Wendy's assisted living facility to demonstrate for her freedom, chanting and picketing in the streets. TMZ was the first to report Joe was interested in becoming Wendy's attorney, something he told us on the Two Angry Men podcast. He made the announcement about representing her on News Nation show Banfield Wednesday night. Joe told us he watched the TMZ documentary and he was nearly moved to tears by it coming away from it believing Williams shouldn't be locked up in an assisted living facility. And that's when, she threw a note out the window and was like, help Wendy. And they took her to a hospital. She spent 2 days there, did a basic mental capacity test, and she passed it with flying colors. As you know, last month, Wendy was taken from the facility for a capacity test at the local hospital, which she passed with flying colors. Wendy has claimed she's in a prison-like environment in her assisted living facility, and she signed a legal document to get out of the guardianship. And it looks like she's got a new lawyer willing to fight for her. So listen, I'm happy for Wendy. Thank you, Joe, for helping, Wendy Williams out. I pray to God that Wendy gets out of this conservatorship. We all deserve to live our best life, even in our latter years, to the best of our ability, just to be fun free. She wants to go to Sephora. She wants to just hang out with her dad. She wants to just hang out with her family or her son. She should be allowed to do that. So listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Joe becoming Wendy's personal attorney. And hopefully the judge will approve that he can fight for her in this guardianship. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, y'all. And I'll see you in the next video.